that. Like, this happens in movies. This guy is like jumping in a plane to see me. Flying 800 kilometers last minute just to see me. You're texting me like I'm a fucking booking.com review service. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lo, and this week's video is a Fella Friday. So for those of you who don't know, Fella Friday is the series on my channel where I talk about a different kind of fella or boy each Friday. So let's jump right into it. This story I've actually filmed like probably almost a year ago, but I was like a little bit hesitant to put it up at first because it's definitely a bit more personal, but I think I'm ready to put it up. So it's about the guy who flew 800 kilometers to see me. Definitely a really interesting story. So for this story, like in the beginning, we have to jump all the way back to like September, October 2017. So that's like 3 years ago, long time. I was in Amsterdam, I was on Tinder. What's new? If you guys watch my videos, you know. And I saw this guy, he was really cute, and he was Swiss, and he had like in his bio that he just moved from Switzerland to Amsterdam. I've lived in Switzerland for a pretty big chunk of my life, so I was like, oh, that'll be so fun. We matched, really hit it off, kind of spoke a little bit of like German. It was really nice, and we decided to meet up for drinks one night. So we decided to go to Luchtje. It's like a famous restaurant in Amsterdam, but we went there just to grab like drinks and snacks. Super fun. Honestly, like if I look back on my dating history, there's been a lot, you guys know. It's actually like one of the best first dates I've ever been on. Not that we did anything really like special, but I just felt super comfortable with this guy like right off the bat. So we had drinks there, and it was like kind of fall, but like one of those nice fall nights, and we ended up like taking a walk around the Bijp area of Amsterdam, and like he was just very, you know, cool to be around. Like he held my hand right away, like it was just really nice. Like, and it was kind of cheesy, like we were stopping at every like street corner to kiss. Like we were, I don't know, we were like very comfortable with each other right away. It felt like pretty good. So then it all kind of, well, no, it was good in the beginning, but it was definitely between us, we were very different in certain ways. Like I'm very much a planner, so I'd be like texting him like, hey, do you want to hang out this week? And he'd very much be like laid back, like, oh yeah, I'll let you know, like I definitely want to see you, but I'll let you know. But then he would like text me at like 10 p.m. that night, or like 8 p.m. and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like, oh, you can come over, we can have drinks. And I would just kind of be like, oh, it's a little bit disrespectful, you know? Like you don't have to let me know like 3 business days in advance, but at least let me know like not an hour before you think I'm to come over, like not the night of. It just comes across like a little bit like a booty call. So I was kind of making that clear to him, like that's not what I'm interested in. So it was weird because between our like first date and our second date, like there was quite a bit of time between there because we just like kept missing each other. But I think we went on like another date. It was very fun. And then it was my birthday in November, and for my 20th birthday I had this like pretty big party with family and friends, and I was like, there was like an open bar. It was super nice. I was like, you know what, maybe I should just invite him. He just moved here, he doesn't know that many people, like I like this guy, why not? So I invited him, and I told him like, you can bring a friend, like don't worry, like you don't have to come alone. And I didn't think he was gonna show up, but like props to this guy, like he did come like later because I think he just like wanted to make sure that there were enough people there. But he came, and it was super fun. He got along really well with my friends. He like met my parents, which it's like one of the only guys who's like met my parents, but my mom and him talked for a while. Like he was a really cool guy. Like definitely felt like a vibe there. Even like kissed him like in front of like my grandparents, and my whole family was there. So it was definitely like, I don't know, it felt good. It was like a good experience. So after that, I think like a week later, we hung out again, and there were a couple things about him which didn't bother me, weren't like red flags or anything, but just things that were different than like what I'd been used to. So I don't think he had a lot of experience, which again is fine, but just from certain things I could notice, like, I don't know, at this point we'd been on like 4 or 5 dates, and for me, like, it's pretty much the time when you kind of want to take it to the next like intimate level, but that wasn't really happening between us. So that was definitely something that was a bit different, or like it just kind of felt like he wasn't super interested in that. So it was a bit weird in that way. And I think after that, like again, we tried to like hang out, but like we were just so different, and like at a certain point, like he wasn't putting in effort, I wasn't putting in effort, so we just kind of stopped talking. But like didn't really end on like a bad note, but it was just like not meant to be. So fast forward to like a year ago, so like summer and like fall of 2019, I'm in Zurich. I still follow this guy on Instagram. He like likes my stuff. I like his stuff. Like we're totally cool. And I'm in Zurich and I was like, ugh, you know, I'm bored. I'm texting people to hang out. There's nobody to hang out with. And I happened to, he lives like a bit outside of Zurich, and I happened to be driving by his town. So I sent him like a picture like, oh, I'm like in your town, haha. And like he replied right away. He's like, oh, you're in Zurich, like we should hang out. But it ended up just like not working because I was only there for one more day, and like that night he couldn't hang out. So I was like, well, if you can't tonight, then this is like the only night I still can. So we didn't hang out, but we kind of started texting a lot. So like October last year, we're texting a lot, like back and forth, kind of talking, and I was like, oh shit, like this is a really nice guy. Like I'm kind of sad that things didn't progress in a way that like I expected. But yeah, now he's living back in Switzerland. I'm in Amsterdam, kind of hard. And one random like afternoon, he texts me and he's like, we're just keeping kind of our texting friendship going. He's like, what would you think if I came to Amsterdam? And I was like, well, it'd be awesome. Like if you want to come to Amsterdam, that would like be great. And he was like, yeah, I was thinking about this weekend and I'll come for like, or like next weekend, and I'll come for a weekend and maybe see some friends, see you, like it'd be really fun. I was like, oh, that'd be amazing. And he's like, yeah, do you think I could stay with you? And I was like, yeah, honestly, you can stay with me. Like it's fine. Like I know you and I have a guest room. So if you want to stay in the guest room, it's fine. If you want to stay like with me, it would be fine, depending on like the vibe that there was. So I was totally cool with it. So that like week kind of rolls around for the weekend, and on like Wednesday, Thursday, he still hasn't like let me know if he's coming or like if there's a flight or anything. And I was just like, I kind of want to know like what's happening. So I think on like Wednesday, Thursday, I'm like texting him like, hey, like are you still coming this weekend? He's like, yeah, I'm planning on it. I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I really want to. But he's very much, I think it's very Swiss, like very analytical. So he was like weighing all the pros and cons. He was like, yeah, isn't it weird? We haven't seen each other in 2 years. And I was like, well, I want to see you, you want to see me, like why not? You know, it could be a really fun experience. So again, like a couple days go by and suddenly it's like Saturday, and I'm like, Saturday morning. He said he was gonna fly in on Saturday. So it's Saturday and I'm like, I haven't heard from you. Like, are you coming? Are you not coming? Like, I literally don't know. So he doesn't reply for a couple hours. It's like Saturday afternoon. I'm at the gym. I remember this so vividly. So I'm at the gym and he texts me. He's like, yeah, no, I do think like it's probably a better idea if I don't come. Like, might be a bit awkward or something. And I was like, okay, fine, but like why have I been texting you for the past like few weeks, you saying you're coming? Like I don't know, I was just like, I wasn't mad, but I was disappointed. So I told him, I'm like, hey, like look, I'm not mad, but I am like disappointed. You're kind of promising me that you're gonna come visit, that we're gonna see each other. So he's like, oh, are you, like that struck a chord with him. He's like, oh, are you really disappointed? Like he was really upset. He was like, oh no, like can I call you this? Like, and I was like, look, like no, like I'm just leave me be for a second. Like I just wanna, you know, I don't wanna talk to you right now if you're just like canceling on me. So it's like evening now and he's like, I'm in the train on the way to the airport. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I couldn't book anything online, but there's one last flight tonight and I'm gonna go to the counter, buy a ticket and like fly to see you. And I was like, oh my god, like this happens in movies. This guy is like jumping in a plane to see me. So I'm like, no, like you really don't have to come if you're not comfortable. Like it's fine, it's fine. He's like, no, I want to see you. Like you're right. Like we should just take this opportunity. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like now hastily getting ready because if you know, like Zurich to Amsterdam flight is like 50 minutes. So it's like not that long. And like even going to the airport and back is not that long. So I was like, shit, I have to like clean up my house. I have to like shave, look good. And so like, he's like, yeah, I'm at the airport. I spend like shit ton of money, but I'm on my way. So he like got on the last flight. He paid a lot of money. And I was like, whoa, like obviously I kind of mean something to this guy, or he really wants to see me at least. Like he's flying 800 kilometers last minute just to see me. Like that is insane. So it was definitely like such an interesting and like crazy experience. So then he's like, yeah, like I'll take the train to Amsterdam South, like can you pick me up at the station? I'm like, yeah, of course, like I have a car, I can pick you up at the station. So I'm waiting there in the car to pick him up, and you know, it was like a bit awkward because we hadn't seen each other in 2 years. I didn't know this guy that well. Like we'd had, I think like maybe 5 or 6 dates like over the course of a couple month period. Like it's not that we really like dated super intensely. So and we never had sex or anything, so I was definitely thinking like, okay, this weekend it'll happen. So yeah, I'm waiting at the station. He like knocks on my window, he gets into the car, and it's like, hey, like good to see you. We like hug, like really like good talk. He was definitely like, as attractive as I remembered, so I was like, oh great, like this is awesome. So take him like to my house. And I'm like, yeah, like, do you want a drink or anything? He's like, no, just water. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make like coffee. I don't know why. I felt a bit awkward. I was like, I'll make coffee. So I made some coffee, and like I remember this whole thing so vividly. I'm getting heated, guys, because I also don't understand the situation, so maybe you guys can give me advice. But he, at a certain point, like I'm making coffee, he comes and like stands behind me, like so cliche in the movie, and like kind of like turns me around, starts kissing me, but like very intensely. And I was like, whoa, like I liked it, but on the other hand, like we have the whole weekend, like calm down, like you don't need to go that crazy, because he was only headed back on like Monday, like afternoon, so we had like a pretty long time. So I was like, yeah, like we have enough time, like don't worry. And so we go on the couch, we're like talking, and again, like every few seconds he's like kissing me. I'm like, oh my god, okay, like wow, this guy's really here, because he like is like wants to hook up. So this is the part where I'm like trying to keep it PG, because I want to share details because it really adds to the story, but I also don't want to like put too much of my life and like sex life out on the internet. Okay guys, so this is me editing. I'm sorry I look like trash, but I just cut a pretty big part out of this Fella Friday video because I do think some things are better to be kept private. But let's just say we didn't hook up. He did finish, but he like wouldn't let me help him out, I would say, in like a nice way. Basically I thought we were gonna have sex, and he just like helped himself out, and like it was just a very odd experience, and it lasted like 10 seconds, and it was just very uncomfortable in general. So yeah, that is kind of what happened in like the most vague terms ever, because I don't want to like, I don't know, this guy like obviously didn't sign up to have his whole sex life put on the internet, so I'm gonna keep it at that for now, but I hope you guys still enjoy the story. So I get dressed again, he gets dressed, and we go back on the couch, we're like watching a movie, and we're like kind of cuddling, but like also just like talking and stuff. But from that moment there was like a switch, like he was not affectionate or like cuddly or anything. So it gets like pretty late, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna head to bed soon, like do you want to, you know, sleep like in my bed, or do you want to sleep in the guest room, like whatever you want. Like wanted to make him comfortable. He's like, yeah, I'll take the guest room, which is a little weird if you just like finished by looking at my boobs and like not even doing anything, that now you want to like sleep in the guest room. But it's fine, like if that's what you're comfortable with, totally okay with that, like would not want to infringe on what anyone's comfortable with. So he goes to sleep in the bedroom, and I'm like what just happened? So the next morning, wake up, and he's like, yeah, like let's go to brunch. So we go to brunch again, like in the morning he didn't kiss me, like touch me, we're walking, not like holding hands, like nothing. Go to brunch, again, good conversation, like I definitely get along with this guy. This guy's a really cool guy, like I have nothing but respect for him as a person, I guess. Well, maybe not after the situation, but like he's a cool person. It's not like we didn't get along. So we have brunch at a spot in the Bipe, and then we walk around like Amsterdam for a bit. We go grab like coffee somewhere because it was really cold. I don't know. And then at a certain point, like halfway through the afternoon, he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to my friends like who live in Utrecht, which is another city, like in Utrecht tonight. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, are you gonna have dinner there? He's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay there, and then I'll head from there to the airport on Monday. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I kind of, you know, you said you were gonna see your friends, but I don't know. You kind of said you were gonna like come see me as well, but I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, good for you. So he like goes and packs, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll walk you out. Like walk him out, and we like hug, but like not kiss. Like after that like moment in the bed, like we did not kiss really, or like touch or anything again. And I was like, I'm just so confused. Like I thought you came here for a romantic weekend, like I thought at least we were gonna both get laid, but it was just such an awkward experience. Like he just, I don't know, came, and like I think maybe now looking back he was embarrassed, and he was like, oh my god, I have to get out of here, like she thinks I'm probably like inexperienced or like whatever. But we didn't even like, you know, get a chance to like try again or like have a good weekend or whatever. It was just such a weird experience. So afterwards I think he texted me, and he was like, yeah, I just want to thank you for like the hospitality. And I was like, you're texting me like I'm a fucking booking.com review service. Like we've dated, we like hooked up, like you flew 800 kilometers to see me. Like you can at least be a little bit more, I don't know, be like, it was so good to see you, like I had a really good time or whatever. But no, it was very odd. And then afterwards, I think I unfollowed him on Instagram because I was like, I'm so confused. And then he unfollowed me and I haven't spoken to him since. He did say once, like, I really hope you never make a video about me. So I'm sorry if you do see this, because I did make a video about you. But hey, if you want to reach out and tell me what happened, I'm really confused and I'd love to learn. But yeah, that was a situation with the guy who flew 800 kilometers to see me. I don't know, guys, it was definitely a weird experience. No hate to this guy, and especially if you're not experienced and like stuff like that happens, like there's always awkward shit that happens in a bedroom. Oh, sorry, the lighting just really changed. But I think like you should be able to talk about it, like that's the thing. And maybe I should have been more open and like talking, like asking him questions, but I just felt like a little bit rejected in a way. I was like, you flew all the way over here, you're being super romantic, you're saying you want to see me, and then you like come to my house, first you super aggressively are trying to hook up with me, and then like we don't even hook up, you finish, and now you're just like being super distant. It was just weird situation all around. This is probably way too personal. I have no filter and I really should work on that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Let me know if you've had like a similar experience. I'm sure this is not a universal experience. This is like an experience that's probably just to me. But again, this is just part of my crazy dating life. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give me advice if you know what happened in this situation. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video. Bye!